You did like Mustangs and stuff, and you must don't like German cars and all that stuff. All right, this is our second episode of Beers and Gears with Baron. I'm LeBaron. Everybody knows me as LB in the car scene. And today, got another very special guest, my man, Kevin. Well, I'm gonna tell you, everybody know him as Breezy. Everybody know Breezy.
What's up?
I don't want to say too much of his government name, but the man here.
What's up,
Welcome
y'all?
to the garage, my man.
What's up, man? Appreciate you, bro.
No problem.
Glad you got me here, man.
Not a problem. Now, everybody like, oh, where the beer at? Okay, my man, he requested water today, and so I'm with him on some water, but we got some very fine water. I didn't want to just bring some Kroger water into the garage, you know, man, be talking about, be like, oh, it's just Kroger water, man. It's Kroger water.
Hey, you see, you got the sparkles in it and everything.
You got the sparkles in it.
You got the real deal right here.
So we good. So we good.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, anyway, how you been doing, man?
Man, just living, man. Loving life, man. Mm-hmm. Working on these cars, man. You know, that's about it, man. Just, you know, living the life, man. Living the dream.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. So, my man here, Kevin, we got a lot of history. Oh, yeah. We actually go back to like the 90s, basically, the late 90s in the car game together. Before I even moved to Atlanta, I had an Acura Legend, and I was for Facebook and all that stuff. There were forums, and it was a car club here, a legend club here called Legendary Legends, and one of the founders is right here.
Yep, Leon Millette and myself got together. We collaborated. Matter of fact, I found Leon scrolling the internet trying to find a car club here, and I met up with Leon. So me and him, when we connected together, we collaborated and made Legendary Legends. Met LeBron, and that was history, man. It was amazing. Back in the 90s, we was pulling up deep then.
Right, and it's amazing that we did it all off just basic internet forums, not like Instagram or. It wasn't even a lot of cell phones out there. We just kind of we were just making it happen. And like I said, I was inspired by this guy's legend. I tried to throw it up here somewhere, but he had the Legend Coupe. It had the molded in body kit and all that good stuff. It was beautiful, most beautiful Legend I've seen at the time. And so, you know, on the forum, and I was like, man, when I moved to Atlanta, I got to meet these guys. And like magic, it happened. I got up here. Met up with them, and the rest is history. But there's a caveat to that. After all of that, we'll get into the whole Mopar story, and we'll get into all that stuff. But let's talk about your history of cars. What got you into cars? Your car history. Like, what was your first car, man?
So my first car was a 1979 Mercury Capri.
Really?
So, yeah, it was. So. You know, I was 14 years old, and it was this my friend's mom was selling a Mercury. You know, she was selling her car, and she had a Mercury Capri. I thought it was a Mustang. I didn't know the difference. At 14 years old, I didn't really know what it was. I just knew it looked like a Mustang. I thought it was a Mustang. So, talked to my dad about getting the car, whatever. She only wanted like $350 for the car. So my dad was like, you know, I get it for you, but you got to pay the money back. So I was like, okay, cool. So that was my first car. When I brought the car home. And I was telling all my friends, you know, I got a Mustang, you know, because back then, that was like in 93. So that's when like the Fox body was really big.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like that Fox body, not that one was the one you got now, that one too. That one came out in 95. Right. Which was really the car. But back then, 93.
Exactly, the Foxes.
Yeah, so I brought the car to school and people laughed at me because it wasn't a Mustang.
It's a fake Mustang.
It was kind of
it was a bootleg Mustang.
Yeah, so you know, I was kind of hurt. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
the cool thing about it is that one thing right there is what changed the game for my life now.
Really?
Because back then, that's when I learned or was finding out, getting information on how to convert it to a Mustang. So basically, I found out that the parts were compatible. You could take the Mustang flip and the LX lights and all that stuff, and basically make a Mustang. Right. So that's what. So what I did was I took up auto body and fender in high school, and that's how I learned how to do body work and fender. And then I bought the '93 parts, and by the time I graduated from high school, I had a 5.0 Mustang. It was only different whether it was a wide body Mustang. It was wide body. The Capri was a wide body car.
That's right.
But it was a Mustang front end, but it was pretty much a wide body Mustang in '93.
Cool.
That's how I got into it.
So that's how you got into it. Usually, what I would try to do is talk about all the cars you had.
Yeah.
But I'll be here like for 2 days.
Right.
So I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. We gonna kind of hit little high points.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there because, well, we're gonna get to this. What's behind me? We're gonna get to that. Cause this is a whole other ball game.
Sir.
But like I was saying, you had your Capri. That was your first one.
Yeah.
And life went on.
Yep.
And then you got the Legend.
But we're not gonna go all the way to, like you say. After that, I had a Monte Carlo SS. Well, I had a Monte Carlo, which I turned to an SS. So I was always converting stuff, to something else. Right. And then like the Legend, I had an RX-7. I was in the RX-7s for a while when I was in Miami, and I was really big into RX-7s. And then after that, I always loved the Legend coupe, man. That car was always a car I loved. I knew the guy that had them always got the chicks, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted one. Eventually I was like, man, I want a Legend. Right. And one just actually popped up actually we didn't have internet then, so it popped up on a paper. You had the what was it called? The penny saver.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So I found one there, and I found like a 92 Acura Legend coupe for $10,000. Like back then that was unheard of.
That's very unheard of.
Yes. And like I said, I fell in love with the car, man. And then again, that was another thing I did, which is I had a vision in my head how I wanted this car to look. Right. That's the reason why it looked like it did when you saw it. Right. Because I actually made a list. I wrote it down and actually had pictures of what I wanted. I had 3 Legends, and I put 3 Legends on pictures into one car. Okay. Then that what came out of it was that car that you saw.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, you had the shaved door handles, you had the shave. Everything was shaved.
That car was sweet, bro.
It was sweet.
It was so sweet.
It was sweet.
But it was, again, and the thing about me is, and what's funny, but you probably don't really know, is like when I have ideas and things like that, people always make it like it's a joke, like they laugh about it. Like when I did that Legend, they laughed about that too. I was like, this is what I want to do, blah, 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 blah. And my coworker was laughing like, whatever. Yeah. And when I brought that shit to work, they dropped to the floor. They was like, oh my God, I can't believe that.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
They didn't see your vision.
They didn't see my vision. Yeah. And like I say, and that Legend became one of the baddest Legends, man. It was. And I can vouch. Man, it was one of the bad, which I wish we never got rid of that car, man. It was so beautiful. Yeah. It didn't even look like a Legend. Like it was, it just looked so like exotic.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did. Yeah. I mean, the cars are pretty sought after right now, especially the coupe.
Now they're coming back.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
they're coming back.
There's some clubs out there that's really sporting some bad Legends now.
Yes,
but the originals are right here. Legendary
Legends. We just gotta say it, bro. We was rolling back in '99.
Back in '99.
Yeah,
that whole era, and then I got into my things. But we gonna talk about that. So, but life went on.
Yeah, life went on again,
and I got into I bought some Mustangs. I got into Mustangs, and your life went on. Yeah. And then we haven't seen, we kind of like, just lost contact with each other.
For a few years, yeah.
For quite a few years, man. That was quite a few years.
It was a while.
It was like 5, 6,
10 years.
About 6 years. Yeah, 10 years. Mm-hmm. And the story has it. Okay, so Unstable Mates, shout out to them.
Unstable?
Yeah, Unstable Mates. So, I started Unstable Mates, and it grew. And people were telling me, since Mustang Club, that it's a moped club out there. They getting big too. You need to meet this guy because he's real cool.
Nigga out front.
And I'm like, what up, man? All right, well, we'll meet this guy. You know what I'm saying? And so they said, well, he's at this restaurant. Let's go ride over there. It's this restaurant. You can meet up with him back. So we had my little crew with me, and we rode over there. We were probably 20 deep, you know what I'm saying? We rode up like strong and backed into the line. I said, all these charges and challenges out here. Yeah, we gonna see them. And so we walked inside, and the person that knew you, that I didn't know knew you,
right,
was telling me, he's back here. Meet him back here. I'm cutting through the crowd, and I'm like, me mugging, and we come into the crowd and hear this man go like, what's up, V? And I'm like, I'm like,
That's
crazy,
crazy.
what's up?
That's crazy.
And I'm like, man, I'm a dog. And crazy thing is, man, so we kind of started this little challenge, well, it's a chick challenge, but you know how they fabricate beef with rappers do now. We kind of did that, just try to promote kind of like a little competition with them, a camaraderie.
Yeah, it was great though.
It was great.
We shut down the internet all day long.
I'm gonna try to put some memes up that we was stoning each other. I'm gonna try to put some memes up.
Bro, they had pictures of me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we was cracking with each other.
Breezy right here looking at us getting beat. Oh man, it was crazy. I mean, it was like, man, it was crazy, man.
We'll call each other out. We'll call out the Mopars. Mopars crowd other slow things and all that. So
we took it to the track.
We took it to the track, and so we had we got the track for Friday night. We got the whole track for just us and the Mopars, and we lined up and shot it out. And basically, it was just really just to bring some fun to the club, to the scene, you know, and get it. It was a big bad street racing thing going on back then.
Yeah.
Which, it kind of, you know, it got out of hand again, but back then, you know, it was helping really trying to pull it back to the track because a lot of people start to get, you know, lose their lives.
Right. So we put it to the track. Yeah.
Right. So we were doing the right thing to try to pull people back to the track and have it. Make a good thing and some brotherhood out of it. So you had a Challenger. That's when you had your Challenger.
Yeah, I had a Challenger. Well, I don't know if you knew. Well, you didn't know that, but before we linked up again, I had a Charger at first. I started actually the Mopar. When I started with a Charger. I had a 2010 Charger SXT. It wasn't even a Hemi. I didn't know what the hell I was buying. You know, I'm driving again. You know, I just don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm driving. I'm like, I want a Charger. I want to give me a Charger. So
yeah.
I'm driving home one day, and I'm driving. I'm in traffic, and I see a Charger that say 3.5 high output. And I'm like, oh, I want to get one of those, not knowing that wasn't the Hemi, right? So I went out and bought a 3.5, which that was ridiculous, right? Obviously, there's no power, but that's how I actually. So basically. I was in another group. So they had another group that was on the internet. They had a forum. There was still forums back then, and I joined the group. I can't think of the name of that group, man. It was a big group, man, and I joined that with the Charger first, and then eventually I got the Challenger, and you know, and the way that the club actually started was because the people that was running the club, you know, they wasn't really listening to what we had to say, what we wanted to do. Or whatever, so I said, okay, cool. So I went on and me and my boy Cash in Carolina, we decided to come together and do our Atlanta Mopar Club, which became huge. You know what I'm saying?
Huge. And I gotta give it to you guys, man.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I know it's a lot of, you know, Mopar game is strong. It's still strong in A. But my man was pioneer. I give it to him. And when it comes, you know, we had a lot of Mustang clubs out then. Well, I think in the last podcast we were talking about how the Mopars came back around in the mid 2000s, 2010s, right? They came back around. And my man was basically, Breezy pretty much had put together a group of Mopar fanatics and made it work. And it wasn't just like Challengers and Chargers. They had Jeeps. They had anything that had Mopar.
We had everything.
And so the joke was like, man, he had my cars at the dealership, man. He just snatched he must be every guy buy a Mopar. Hey, you in the club. So that was all. You know.
But you know what's crazy? The crazy thing was the dealership was actually promoting our club too. Because when I traded my Challenger, the guy that bought Camilla, which was the orange Challenger, right?
Yeah.
SRT. The person that bought that car reached out to me and joined the club. We're friends to this day. I still know where that car is.
Yeah.
He bought the car, and the guy from the dealership was like, "Hey, you know, you might want to join this club."
Yeah.
So it was actually dealerships doing it too.
And Camilla became a real popular car.
Oh man.
That Deuce has an orange, you know.
That car was beautiful, man.
That car was a beautiful car. I gotta give it to you, man. You did your thing. I gotta give you a toast to that.
Appreciate you.
To Camilla and what you did with the Atlanta car scene, man.
Yeah.
Back then, I think we had some positive clubs, and I was glad we was able to collaborate Amongst the Honda Prelude, the Atlanta Preludes. There's a few clubs.
I know them guys.
ATL Accords. There's a few clubs.
Damn, are they still around?
It's a few of them still around.
That's what's up, man.
Psychotics. There's a few of them. Shout out to Fareed with Psychotics, with Scions. There's a few of them guys still around.
Well, crazy thing was the Prelude Club you mentioned. I used to be in that club for a little while too. I had a Honda Prelude. So I was in there for a little while too. And I forgot the guy. So I'm not good with names. Not sure the guy name was Clay, but this guy used to run a Honda Prelude club, and he kind of started using Facebook. We use Facebook as a tool because remember they were still doing forums, so the people wasn't using Facebook.
So everybody knew the Facebook.
He used Facebook as a tool to get people to join. That's where I kind of got that's how I kind of did the Mopar thing. I started using Facebook as a platform to bring people, and that's why it blew up. It worked. It blew up.
It literally worked.
And actually it came from him. I didn't do that. I wasn't the first one to do that. I just kind of took what he did. And because they was doing forums, and forums would take days to you'll say something to somebody, take days to respond.
Right.
And when that happened, man, it was a whole big mess behind that whole thing, man. The guy that was actually running the club before, they didn't want people to be on Facebook at the time. Like, you can't be on Facebook, you can't be in the club. Everybody was like, screw it.
Facebook was using.
But because at the time you could connect to people a lot faster.
Right.
This is normal now, but before we were just learning we were just figuring our way out.
Right.
How to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that shit blew up, bro.
Yeah. The thing about it, it blew up. And everybody, the whole stigma, everybody thought that, oh, they don't like Mopar. Mopar's not like Mustangs. It was a whole rivalry. But behind the scenes, we
was all doing our own.
This man had a Mustang. Once I didn't know, he had a Mustang.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Mustang is what really brought me, because originally, to this day, I still love Mustang. I still do. Mm-hmm. But originally, when I first got into cars, that's what the car I wanted was a Mustang. That was my thing, and I figured I don't know how I ended up getting out of how I deferred going somewhere else. Yeah. But originally, that was the car I wanted. When I ended up with and to this day, honestly, slick telling you, I'm looking for a Capri. I don't want a Mustang. I want another Capri.
Good luck trying to find. Well,
they're expensive.
They out there.
They're expensive now. You know what I'm saying?
I want to bring a trailer.
I want another Capri, and I want to basically do a Mustang conversion again, like I did the last car.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do, because I like the wide body on the Capri. It just makes the car look tougher. Than the actual Fox body, because it is a Fox body. They just made it ugly in the front and the back. That's all.
Okay. You had the Challenger one, last. Well, no, I'm sorry. We'll talk about the Viper. This man.
The Viper too.
So, Oh, I forgot about the Viper.
Oh, in the truck. I had the truck too.
The SRT10.
Not the 10. I had the blue truck. Remember that blue truck I had? It was a Dodge.
It was okay.
With the 24s on it. It was nice.
Okay.
I got told.
All right. So anyway, he had that, but he also had old school. He had the Duster. What is it? Plymouth Duster.
Yeah, I had a Valari Super Coupe.
He had a Valari Super Coupe.
Yeah.
I put a picture of man. Look, this man. That's what I say. True car enthusiast.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. So. I'm talking about the most obscure stuff, the Conquest. You had the.
Don't talk about that car. I missed that car, bro.
Okay, I'll put a picture in just to make him hate. Yeah. Because I know I got a picture somewhere.
I still got pictures for you, man. Yeah. I love that car. I kept that car the longest than all the cars I've had, man. I had that car for over 10 years. I kept that car the longest.
Now, let me tell y'all this. This man had all these cars at the same time. I ain't talking about he got rid of this car. He bought this car. He had this car. He bought this car. He had all these cars. Some of the cars you got in your fleet now.
Currently, I have 13 at the moment.
13 cars.
Yeah. All at the house. I got them spaced out, where you can't really see them, because I got a lot of land. But yeah, I got 13 Benzes now. Well, I had 12.
So now you completely Mercedes.
Completely Mercedes, and I got rid of everything except Mercedes. I got all Mercedes now.
So you just went cold turkey, like, you know what? I'm getting rid of all these Mopar products.
Yeah.
And I'm going.
Well, I can tell you what happened. So after the club thing was over and all that good stuff, I just felt like I ended up buying. I always liked the 190E, right? Mm-hmm. I know y'all know what that is, because this car is like hot right now. The 190E is hot. Mm-hmm. I wanted a 190E, and one day I wasn't looking for one. I went to pull a part to get a part for a car. They had a 190E in the and you know how they sell cars or whatever. They had one for like $1,000. I was like, man, I want that 190E. So I made a negotiation to get the car, and right when I got ready to buy the car wouldn't start. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm because I didn't know anything about Mercedes, nothing. And to keep the truth was told, I never liked Mercedes. Mercedes was the car I stayed away from. So all the other cars I love, Mercedes I hated. I just didn't like them at the time. I don't know why.
You just didn't like it.
I just didn't like it. It wasn't my thing. I didn't like Mercedes. So,
But you like that 190.
the 190 was cool because it was kind of like it was old school back in the day.
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, the car didn't run. Went online and I found a 124, which is I got a 300E, and I know y'all know the 500E. That's the top dog. But I had a 300E, and that car, I bought that car, and I put that. I think I paid $1,000 for that car. And I just completely the first thing I did was did a facelift because it has like a 92. You can do a 95 upgrade.
Okay.
I did it. So I went to the junkyard because at the time it was in the junkyard all day. And I was just I found all the parts in the junkyard to update. I found a 95 and I just pretty much updated my 92 to a 95. And completely fixed the car up, painted in my garage, completely did the car. Car came out beautiful, man. And it actually went viral on Instagram. My homeboy did this badass video, which I'll send you that video.
Yeah.
Of that shot.
We'll try to put a link in the description. I mean, and below or whatnot. We'll try to put a link and you can find all these,
It went
pics.
Beautiful. I mean, it went viral, but it turned out to be a beautiful car. So that's what got me into Mercedes. I was like, you know what? The original was the 190E, and so after that, I wanted a convertible because I'm like the 190E is cool. I can't get it right now, whatever. So so I wanted the convertible Cabriolet. I'm like, man, that car is hard as hell to get, right? I'm driving up Moreland Avenue, man, and it's you know how they have little yards and all these cars being in the yards and stuff, just sitting there. I'm driving past and I see a W124 convertible there in bad shape, and the gates locked. So I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get in touch with this.
It's a 124 convertible.
Yeah, that's the convertible I got, the drop top.
Yeah.
And eventually I was driving somewhere and the guy was out there and I came back, man, and I was like, bro, sell me that car. He's like, well, I don't really want to sell it because I want to fix it up and this and that. I was like, man, so I started showing him all like what I did to my car. Like, man, I really want to buy this car from you. So he eventually sold it to me. Not only that, this was back there and behind it in some trees, this car. And I said, well, what you want with that one? He said, well, that car has been sitting back there for a while. I said, sell me both of them. He sold them both and told them to my house. Rest is history.
140.
W1, yeah, C140.
The C140. What year?
This is a 95.
It's 95.
Yep, 95.
This is your latest project? Probably not.
No, this is actually my third project that just kind of put on the back burner. The car was having some issues. So I just kind of let it park. I just parked it for a while. Just kind of sat there in the yard for like 2 years. Didn't do anything with it.
Right.
The crank sensor broke off in the transmission. So that was an expensive job to do. A $25 part turned into $1,500. So I got that fixed, and I just started to start putting it back together. And then I did it had paint chips and all that on. The bumper was all messed up, and I just fixed everything. I did all the work myself in my garage. Everything to this car has been done by me. The paint, the engine work, everything's been done by me.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful car.
So I appreciate it.
126s or the 140s.
Yeah.
Are beautiful works of art. I was doing some research prior to this just to kind of get my little facts a little bit on this, Now, little bit of a just like a little tip, but the chrome around the window has a little hint of red tint in it. And they call that my enemy's blood. That's what it's called. My enemy's blood. That were Mercedes. I don't want to put them out there, but that's the legend is that they call that tint, that tint of red in Greek is called, that color is my enemy's blood. Now that's deep.
Yeah.
And this is a gangster car. And it's crazy.
Yeah, if you look at the windows, man, the windows are thick.
Thick windows.
Yeah.
They threw the book. You talking about like mid 90s or late 90s. They threw the book at this car. This is like the most technologically advanced Benz. Actually, when you went to the dealership back at that time, this was that car that you know, you really have to ask what how much it is. They're gonna put a price on the window.
Yeah, man.
This was it. They're going back up in value now because it had dipped because you know how time with cars go, but now they're shooting through the roof, and it's crazy that you got one Robert's wheels.
Yeah, man.
And it's the way it's set. It's nice. What's the story with the Roberts? How you find those?
Bruh. So I'll let y'all know that I am a bargain shopper. I do not spend top dollar for certain things. I try to look for it. So those wheels right here, these are 20-inch Bravos wheels. These wheels retail for 10 grand. That's what those wheels cost. If you don't believe me, look them up. I'm not talking about the 18. The 18 is about 6 grand. Those are $10,000 wheels. So I was on Marketplace, my favorite place. I love Marketplace. I was on Marketplace, kind of scrolling, and those wheels pulled up. So a guy was selling the wheel. This lip right here on this end, that pretty much was hanging off the car. I didn't know at the time when I bought them, but the guy I think he wanted $400 or $500 for the wheels. I'm like, get out of here. So I drove up to Macon, took a look at them, and you know they was pretty messed up. It wasn't in the best shape, and I told him, I said, I'll give you $300 for them right now, and he took the $300. So I took him to this guy in I believe Norcross, and he actually redid all the wheels for me. So they've been redone.
Nice.
They rewelded them and put them back together, man. And you know, I'm gonna get them refinished. I don't really like the finish they use on me. It looks good, but I want to redo the finish. But basically, I paid $300 for those wheels, probably like plus $400 to get them repaired.
Yeah.
And so I put out $1,000 for $10,000 wheels. So the wheels went perfect on the car, but again, a lot of stuff on this car was either parts that I found in the junkyard or something like that. Like this Lorena kit on here that's on this car was from a junkyard car. A Lorena kit car was out there, and I went and pulled the whole bumpers and everything off of it, and then I just basically painted everything. So a lot of cars I don't necessarily spend top money to get them the way they are, but I do my research and I do repair the things that's that's wrong with them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
and that's basically the same thing. I mean, that's how we came up. We came up wrenching on these cars, man, and upgrading on our own. You buy the base model, but you're gonna have power windows for the over with. Yeah, exactly. You end up in the junkyard, you put the motors and all. So that's what we did. Yeah. And that's basically. My man, that's how you be bringing these cars back, and that's a beautiful thing. So, we haven't even touched on the old school. That's a 19. Yeah, that's a 19. So I got a 1970 250C, which I found that car also. I believe I found that car on Marketplace too. Yeah, it didn't run when the guy he got it to run for me, to let me know the motor was running, but the car was pretty much the carburetor and all that shit was fucked up on it. So the car didn't run when I got it, and pretty much same thing. I brought it home, put it in the garage, man, and try to ask around to see if anybody knew how to rebuild carburetors. Yeah. Nobody nowadays. The people that rebuild carburetors back then on those Mercedes either older, they didn't pass away. So I really wanted to drive the car, so I ended up going on YouTube and found a guy to rebuild them myself. And I'm gonna burn my house down a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? But the car runs fine. It took a lot of tweaking and things like that, and the car had a lot of issues, man. It had the gas tank had it was it had a lot of issues. Right. But overall, the car runs great now. It runs fantastic. The only thing is on New Year's, unfortunately, I was driving and a deer ran across and hit it, so I'm doing body work on it now. But other than that, it'll be available within the next 3 months. After I get my 124 done, cool. Then that'll be the next car that I'll finish up. All right, I'm finna pop quiz time. He wasn't ready for this one. I know he's gonna pass it up. Well, because you got 13 cars. In alphabet, not Bethel order. Your order. Okay. The oldest and the newest. Go. Say that. Your cars. The oldest to the newest, all the Mercedes, all 13. You want me to name them? Yeah, can you name them? Oh my God. 1970 250, that's the old one. I got a 500 SEC, 2 of them. I have a W123 coupe, is a diesel. A 350 SLC, which is a coupe.
What's it? What else? A 190E, which I didn't get into that how I got that, but I got a 190E, a W124 four door.
You had a wagon.
Still got it. W124
Still got the
wagon. Still got it. Still got the wagon. W124 coupe.
You take a water break, man?
Oh no. What else? A 124 convertible. A 500, a 2001 500 coupe, four door, which I thought that car was a S55.
Right.
But when I went and bought the car, it wasn't an S55. It was a damn 500.
Really?
Unfortunately, that car is still where I bought it. I have not. I was so mad. I was like, the car's still there. Then I have another 124. So that's 12. And then I just recently got ML 65.
Really?
That's an SUV, all-wheel drive.
Okay.
So I got something a little bit newer. That's the newest car I got, but that's the newest. I got an SUV, which is pushing about 500 horsepower. So I had to get something that was quick. You know what I mean? Something. But that's all of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you mentioned 126.
Yes.
You have 126.
Yes, two.
You have two 126.
Yes, two. I got two of them.
Now that's like 80.
It's 84.
84, big body.
Yeah, it's basically this car.
Yeah.
That car was out before this one.
Right. Posse and Broadway. We all seen them. Service live video.
Yes.
Actually, that's my favorite Benz. I like this one too, but I grew up with that Posse on Broadway, that whole base era, and that car stood out with the AMG kit. That car stands out. To this day, that car stands out.
That car is so sweet. And on top of that, now mine is not in the best shape at the moment. But the 126, I've been looking all over for that car, bro. Like it's the car is so expensive, right? The parts are so expensive. So let me tell you how this happened. I ended up with two. So it's gonna end up being one, but I got two at the moment.
Okay.
So I went on again Marketplace, which I need to stay off that shit, bro, because they're gonna make me broke. Went on Marketplace, found one actually for $1,000. Found one for $1,000. I didn't know what was wrong with the car. I just want the car. The guy was like, "Well, it's not running." I was like, "Well, fine. I'll bring the car home and figure it out." So I went and had it towed from Alabama and brought it. Had it brought here. I was actually still at work when it came to the house. Came home with complete shit. Got it, popped the hood. Engine parts missing out of it. I mean, the car was a complete shit show.
Yeah.
Had rust and all that. Okay. Went online and found I knew it needed a motor. I did a compression check on it. It didn't come back good. I said, okay. Found a motor for $2,000 for that car. Just the engine, $2,000. Bought the motor from the guy on eBay, and the guy was like, yeah, he was going to charge me $500 to ship it. So he came back and said, well, it's going to cost $1,000. I was like, no, I don't want it. So he was like, no problem. I'll give you money back. Tell you how God is good, bro. Like, I'm in my mind, I'm just thinking about what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do this, get this 500 SEC working. So I go to Caffeine and Octane the next day, and I bring this. I brought this car out there, and I just kind of pulled it up there, and the guy was like, hey, would you like to bring this car in the showroom? The showroom area. I'm like, sure, no problem. I'm excited. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I put the car up there, set it all up and everything, and I walk away, and I met some other friends that was there, and we were talking about the car. Like, man, I was talking about the 500, and I was like, I gotta find. I said they got a 4-door one. I just need the motor. So I was gonna buy another car and just take the motor out of it and do whatever. Come back, there's a guy standing up by my car. He's like, beautiful car. I love your car, man. It's very nice. He said, but I have another Benz for you that you might want to be interested in. And I'm like, I'm good. If I just bought a car, I'm good. He said, well, just take a look at it. Why was it a 500 SEC, bro? He showed me the pin. I'm like, damn. I said, does it run? He said, yeah, it runs. He said, it needs the gas tank is shot in. He said, right now we got a fuel cell in it or whatever. But it does run. We drive it, but yeah, it does run. I said, how much you want for the car? He said, well, make me an offer. I said, $2,000.
Play with him.
He said, okay. And he actually brought the car from Alabama. I believe it was Alabama. He brought it to me.
Another Alabama car.
Yeah, another Alabama car. But this car, no rust, no nothing. But of course, when I started going through the car, gas. I mean, everything was like anything that was gas related was messed up.
Yeah, if y'all want 126, go to Alabama. They got them all.
They got them, bruh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, anyway, it took me about 3 weeks to get that car, ran through. So basically, I used the other car as a parts car.
Right.
Took all the parts, the gas tank, everything out of the car, bought new fuel pump, everything. I can drive, now that car runs. I drive it, you know what I'm saying? But it needed some work. But that's probably one car I would not get rid of, bro. That car was so hard to get.
Oh, yeah.
And now I got one.
they through the roof, too.
Man,
they are through the roof right now.
They're very expensive.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be a car that you'll see. It right now it's not in the best shape. It needs a paint job. It needs interior work. But I just wanted one to have in my stable, so that way when I get ready to work on it, it's gonna be something else. I'll send you a picture before and how it's gonna look afterwards.
Nice, nice. And we'll get you back in the garage, man.
Oh, for sure.
Get you back in the garage. So that's cool.
So that's how that came about with this 126. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
And the future plans, but you're still looking for that Capri. You're gonna get that Capri.
I'm looking for the Capri. Future plans is the one. I'm working on a 124 coupe right now. Which that car was actually the fourth car I bought, but it's set back because I bought two of those, and one had a blown motor. So I bought another one, and because one had a really good interior. So I basically swapped everything out of that car, moved it over to one car, and now it needs a paint job. You see what I'm saying?
Nice.
So a lot of times you got to buy two cars to make one. That's just it's cheaper that way because you got parts. So that will be my next. That's my next project. I'm gonna finish that. I'm not gonna tell you what color I'm gonna paint it because everybody want to know what color it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I put it out there and everybody want to know the color. I said I'm not gonna tell you. It's a surprise. So you'll see that when it's done.
Can't wait to see it.
And then the next one will be fixing that the coupe. The old school. That'll be the next one. That'll be the next one. Okay. And then this car right here still needs. I have a Lorena spoiler for the back.
Yeah.
It needs a little paint up here in the top right here. So this car needs a little bit of TLC on it, So, but this is gonna be like my main baby right here. Right now, this car right here is I want to put it in music videos and all that. So, that's another thing too. A lot of rappers reach out to me for music videos too. Yeah, they call me and find me on Instagram.
Okay.
My convertible been in a lot of music videos and even movies. So I think one of the guys wanted to put this one in BMF. So we'll see how that's gonna go.
We'll see how that is, man.
We'll see.
Yeah, I can see it now. Cocaine white.
He said it's period correct because they got the Bravos wheels on it.
Yeah.
They're 20s, but because they're Bravos, they can still use the car. Because I tell them want to make it obviously back in the day, right?
Right.
So, but back in the day, those wheels they were
solid. They still are.
They still are, right?
They still are.
Yep.
So, but wow.
Yeah, man.
Dope, man. Dope.
Yes, sir.
Sideways question. I know you spend more part.
Yeah.
What you think about the new electric Charger?
Be honest with you, man. I have not looked at a Taj since Mercedes.
Really?
I really just completely fell off. I don't think about it at all. I still got a few friends that have them, but everything I do, man, is Mercedes. All my friends that I hang with, people hit me up all the time wanting me to buy shit, or they know Greasy's gonna end up getting it. Everything is Mercedes, man. I have not even looked at any other car.
Wow.
Speaking of Mercedes, that's how I got into it when I bought the old Mercedes, and that's how I fell in love with Mercedes. And I just usually always switch brands. I went Lexus. I did Lexus for a while. Remember that? I did Dodge for a while. I did Mazda RX-7s. I've done a lot of different cars. It's something about Mercedes, man. It's something about the old, and I'm not talking about the new ones. I ain't too crazy about the newer ones. I'm talking about the old school Mercedes.
Right.
It's just something about it, man, that just speaks nice. Like, I don't know.
So you're like blind, the horse with the blinders, you just don't see
That's
nothing
it,
else.
man. If I don't see nothing else but old school Benzes, man, that's it. That's all I look at. That's all I Google. That's all I YouTube or eBay. Like everything is Mercedes, bro.
Wow.
Everything Mercedes.
So my man got hit with the Men in Black pen.
Got hit with the star, bro.
Yeah.
Got hit with the star. Yes, sir.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah, man.
You heard it here, man himself, man.
Yeah.
Reese Williams. It's good to have you in the garage, man.
For sure, man. I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, no problem. This is fun.
Yes. Hope I ain't bore y'all too much.
Good stories. As always, man. You always come with the good stories, man.
Yes, sir.
But this wraps up episode 2 of Gears and Bears with Baron. This episode 2. So, with that, like and subscribe, follow me, all that good stuff. That wraps this one up. Let's see y'all on the next one.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace out.
All right, buddy. Boom.